Absolutely. That's the reason. I mean, if it creates an ambient space. When you hear an SACD recording, you know what happens? It separates the instruments on the stage and gives you perspective and depth and row identification. Yes, the answer is yes, and it will be, but if you got to do it right.
If the vocalist is in a booth, if the drums are in a booth, if the bass is in a booth, if the bass is taken direct, can that be the absolute sound?
Well, you're asking me about the whole strategy of recording popular music. When I say you do the absolute sound, you have a reference standard. Popular music, they can do anything they want to, and some of these things are sort of interesting. And you can hear, like if you listen to Kind of Blue, Miles Davis, in the multi-channel, you're not going to hear really great surround sound, but you're going to hear nuances in the playing, which is superb, that you won't hear in any two-channel version. Now, I don't know how to answer this. I personally think multi-micing too many popular things is not what I want to do at the end of the day. But sometimes it's really good. And you can't make an iron rule about these things, I don't think. Next question. Anybody?
Next question. Yes, sir?
Yes. I'd like to know, do you consider HDIM cables, do you consider those to be true high fidelity? And the second question is it time to bring back open reel recorders?
So is HDMI true high fidelity, and is it time to bring back open reel recorders?
No.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
If no one else has a question, oh, right, okay. You've gone already.
Okay, wait.
We've got one here.
Explain yourself.
One of the women, come on. Okay, stand up. Tell us something. Ask us something.
What is one recording that you can listen to over and over and over again? You could just appreciate it so much, and why?
A recording with lasting quality.
You know, with modern cartridges and a really good tone arm and the good record cleaning machines, you can make a record last almost indefinitely. You can.
What's your choice of music, though?
What?
What recording? What choice of music?
Do you have to ask that? You know, I've listened to Lieutenant Kiji so many times, I'm hearing the other side of the record. The Reiner recording. You know, this is really fun because what you do is I try to alternate. When I do my records and I do my cartridges, I pick out a whole bunch, and we sometimes are lucky enough to have multiple copies. And I try not to play them twice in a row. And I try to rotate it. That's like rotate it. I told you I had that. And I think that's what you have to do. If you really love your music and you're going to test it, you cannot listen to the same thing over and over and over again. But you give the grooves a chance to relax, and grooves do relax and can snap back into shape because they're vinyl. Answer.
Okay. Sir, please.
What do you see as the future for the CD in terms of downloading things these days? I mean, 10, 15 years, 20 years?
What's the lifespan on optical disc, I think is the question.
I don't know yet. That's one of the things we're finding out now. I have no idea. I've started playing with the wave disc, or about to. There are all these new things. I feel like almost I'm overwhelmed with new technologies, new strategies for getting music to us. I mean, I shouldn't say this, but I got one of Keith Johnson's recordings, the Rachmaninoff Symphonic Dances, on a WAV file, and I could hear every microphone he used.
Sir, at the back.
Yeah, I'm sorry, one last question. Harry, do you think you're ever going to have all that wonderful text again in your magazine like you used to have? I know it was a lot of work to write that much, but back in the early days, you guys would have, it was like a book. You guys, your publications were like books.
Tell him to stop.
I was about to.
Go ahead, repeat it back for everybody.
So what he'd like to know is Harry ever going to be quite as productive as he used to be?
I was afraid. I couldn't hear that. My hearing is good. Look, you're almost putting me in a position that I have to talk about something I don't want to talk about, which is my present professional relationship. So just let me tell you this. Wait and see. And some of you guys might want to write for me too.
One last question, which I'm gonna ask, if that's okay.
Okay, sure.
One last question. What's the single most important piece of equipment you've ever heard?
Single most important?
Yeah.
The most important? Well, I mean, that's not really fair. I mean, how do you say speakers versus turntables versus what? You want to say the best speaker I ever heard, I think, or do you want to say the best turntable? Obviously, it's going to be the clear audio. If you say the best single most important piece of equipment, does any one piece of equipment incorporate enough virtues for you to say this is truly revolutionary? I don't think so. You can have a revolutionary cartridge that will drive you crazy. I remember when I was a kid, I heard the Weathers FM cartridge and never heard anything that good for years and years and years again. And I would say that was revolutionary. I would have said the D150 at one point was revolutionary. I would have said Arnie's IRS speakers were revolutionary. But one piece of equipment, not even a Nordos cable. No. Okay, guys, listen, go upstairs with me to the Holt Memoriam that B's having. The drinks will be free. And Luke will
Liar.
Luke will have to sell more VTLs.
A lot more.
A lot, yeah, the big ones. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in. I appreciate it.